My name is Tsaone Bedi. Most of you will know me as Sparkle Bedi, corporate lawyer, whatever you can think of. So I'm going to be talking to you today about goal setting. And I'd just like to introduce the topic by bridging off what was just shared now about leading yourself. It's going to be very imperative for you to be able to set goals for yourself in order to be able to set goals for your organization or for any organization. So we're going to start off by talking about goal setting generally for yourself and how to implement those skills into setting goals for any entity that you run or any entity that you find yourself in. All right, are we excited? Did you guys sing along to that song? You're looking at the man in the mirror, so you have to set goals for that man in the mirror, right? Fantastic. All right, let me figure out how to use the tech. Great. So goal setting. A goal is a mark, right? It's a target. A goal is a clear statement of what you want to achieve. I want to assure you that today you've achieved a couple of goals that you probably did not think were goals. Firstly, you're here. You made it here on time, hopefully, for most of you. But the truth is the goal was to be here and come and learn. So at the end of this session, you will tick off more goals that you had set out to achieve when you came here. Goal setting is exactly that. It's the process of taking active steps towards achieving your goal. So just having a goal is not enough. You have to take steps towards achieving that goal, right? And setting goals is something, I like acronyms, so I'm going to just read this out to you before I take you on a journey of setting goals. So whenever you talk of setting goals or set goals, I want you to think of this. Set, S-E-T. S, they must be specific, right? It must be clear what those goals are about. Are they personal goals? Are they business goals? Are they financial goals? Or what sort of goals are they to you? They must be exciting. If you're not excited about your goals, you're not going to pursue them. Because if they're boring you, then why are you pursuing them? They have to make you wake up in the morning excited. They have to make you want to wake up earlier than usual or sleep later than usual. They have to make you want to cancel certain plans because that's what you want to pursue, right? T, they must be time-bound. You cannot be pursuing one goal for 10 years, right? Unless it is a multifaceted long-term goal. But if my goal is to open up a social media account, 3 years later, if that's still a goal, then there's a problem, especially if you have a gadget and the internet. That's a goal that you set out for today, and by the end of the day, it has to be completed, right? So all your goals must have a time element to them to help you be able to keep yourself accountable or hold yourself accountable, and also to show yourself that you're capable of doing what you said you'll do when you said you'll do it, right? Goals, G-O-A-L-S. G, growth-oriented. Your goals must help you grow. This is not just from being growing your educational background, for example, or growing your bank account. But you should see yourself grow and mature into a better business person, a better student, a better individual altogether, a better person in how you manage anything that you are assigned, right? O, objective, being measurable. You should be able to measure your progress daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, annually. The same way you go to school in university, there's semesters, is to say, for this semester and the next semester, these are the different goals for each semester. For you to get to the next semester, this is what you should have achieved. Actionable. You must be able to act on that goal. The goal must be dependent on you taking action and not the next person. Me having a goal that I do not have control over is almost sort of a recipe for disaster, because how do I action it if it's not within my control, right? You can't set a goal for it to rain, right? You can hope for it to rain, but you cannot set a goal that says, on this day I want it to rain. You have no control over that. It's not actionable, and therefore it's going to depress you if it doesn't actually happen. L is they must be life-aligned or relevant. What is your life plan? Who are you? Do you know who you are and where you want to end up? Do your goals align with the person that you want to be? If I say I want to be a lawyer, or I say I want to be a corporate lawyer, or I want to be a business owner, and I'm not taking time to set goals that help me go and learn about how to be a successful business owner, how to successfully start a business, then my goals and my life are not aligned. And therefore, it's going to be very difficult for me to pursue my goals. Lastly, the S being significant. there must be some significance in your life or in the lives of those that you're looking to impact with the goals that you set. So I'm going to take you on a journey, right? From the time you were born, you've been smashing a couple of goals. I want to encourage you so that if right now you're sitting in your seat and you think, I set goals the beginning of this year, it's October, and I haven't achieved any of them, I want to remind you that you are a goal smasher, right? When you were born, you had no idea what was happening, and somebody had set goals for you. The goal was by X number of months, you should be crawling. You did that. You should be walking. You did that. You should have teeth. You did that. And when they see those things take longer to happen, when the time that you should be doing those things don't happen, they put actions in place to help you or to guide you or to make sure that they can help you achieve those goals, right? Then you got to school, standard 1 up to 7. Every year there's a new curriculum that you have to go through for you to qualify to go to the next grade. Look at you. You've been killing it, right? You've been killing it. You get to varsity or you're in varsity. Every year, that course outline that gives you stress. There's all those things that you have to go through. Look at you. Killing it. Some of you were graduating yesterday, right? Killing it. Why is it that now, when we get into our adult life, we just want to move without any guidance, without any course outline, without any compass that's directing your life? Why is it that we set goals that are so long-term, we write them down and never ever look at them again until December, then we beat ourselves up because we didn't achieve them? It's important to actively take steps towards achieving the goals that you set out for yourself. It's important that you set SMART goals, right? I'm sure a lot of you have heard they set SMART goals, and that acronym just bothers you because it's like, everyone is always saying set SMART goals. But that's because it's been tried and tested, and it works, right? Therefore, I want to encourage you that everything that you've been learning throughout your years of schooling and as you pursue the school of life, to use it in your personal life because it is important and it works. Let me just quickly check my notes to make sure I didn't forget anything. So the best way to track your milestones and how far you are from achieving them is to have them written down or set out for you in a way that you understand effectively, right? Which is the course outlines, everything that you've been looking at throughout your day-to-day lives. So I'm a serial goal setter. I believe in to-do lists because it gives me the push to say, look, you've done so much so far, therefore if you keep going, you'll be able to achieve more. And on the days when I feel like, oh my gosh, I'm not doing well, I look back to what I've achieved, and it gives me the push to say, today was not good, but look how you did yesterday. Therefore, if you put in proper safeguards, you'll be able to do better again tomorrow. So let's talk about effective goal setting, which is the SMART acronym: specific, measurable, actionable, relevant or realistic, and timely. I won't go too deep into this, but I want to say to you that if you continue to pursue this acronym in how you set your goals, you will be able to see yourself start being effective and efficient and actually be able to achieve your goals. So I'll give an example with myself. So when I started university, I was a 17-year-old, and I had just enrolled for LLB, Bachelor of Laws, and I was completely clueless as to what was happening. I was this brilliant girl from high school, having scored all these points. I'm like, I got this, I can do anything and everything. My first test, I got the lowest mark of my life, and it shocked me. I had never in my life gotten a 50%. And that test reminded me that you are in for a big thing now. You said you want to be a lawyer, and it's not going to be a walk in the path. My first year, I was completely clueless. I was just a child who said they want to be a lawyer, but I had to figure out this whole thing called university. There was no one who had been a lawyer in my family, so there was no one I could turn to guide me. So what did I do? I went to my seniors and said, hey guys, look, young girl here, I don't know what's going on, help me. So I set a goal to say, I'm going to find someone that's done this before and ask for them to guide me and help me get to where I need to get to. I mean, the marks didn't go up in that year, but we got there in the following year because I set out a goal and said, look, this is what's happening. You're no longer, Miss, I don't need to study, I'm brilliant without even trying. Now you actually need to put in the work. And once I put in those structures, things began to look better than the first year. Why? Because I had a specific goal to say, I want to pick up my marks by X amount. I want to be able to get into this type of field. Therefore, how do I get myself there? Initially, I didn't know what this was, but later in life, I realized that I was actually setting smart goals for myself, and I was pursuing them and putting in place actionable steps that allowed me to improve my grades and get to a point where I was one of the good students or the best students. Your goals must be realistic. So as I was pursuing my law degree, I realized that I didn't like practice. Why? I didn't know. So I decided to go into a law firm and go and find out why I don't like something I don't know about, right? It just didn't appeal to me. I didn't know why. But I've always been someone who knows that if I think it, it means that there's something that's pushing me to think that way. Therefore, I need to pursue these thoughts and bring them to reality and understand them. I worked in a firm all the way from second year to fifth year. What this taught me is time management, discipline, and learning to do things that you don't like perfectly or excellently, regardless of the circumstances you're in. Earlier on, the speakers mentioned how sometimes life was difficult when we were growing up, right? I'm that generation that's in between the young and the old. So I fit in with the old people and the young people. So I kind of relate to some of his stories, but I also relate to some of your stories. So life wasn't always smooth. It wasn't always nice. It was tough. Even right now in corporate, you get to hear things that are tough, and you see younger people just be like, the vibes are off, I'm quitting this job. And I'm like, guys, that's not how it works. You know, you need to find a way to speak up, and at the same time, you need to realize that there's norms and cultures that are in place that you have to understand before you can bring about a change, right? So I'm someone who set out to say, which is my Corporate Millennial initiative, to say, I've worked with both old and younger generations, and I'm the bridge between the two. So I want to create an environment where when you come in, the vibes won't be completely off, but when you come in, also the older generation will understand you because I've spoken up for you and I've represented you because I've earned that right to some degree, right? So I like to add 2 other letters to the SMART acronym to say set smarter goals. Once you've set SMART goals, you need to regularly evaluate them and reward yourself or re-strategize. It's important to reward yourself whenever you achieve a goal, but don't reward yourself carelessly. So if your goal was to save 1,000 pula this year and you manage to save 1,000 pula, you can't reward yourself with 1,200 pula again, because now you've messed up everything that you were planning to do. You now have to reward yourself with something that enables your goal to continue to go forward. So you need to regularly reevaluate or re-strategize. So sometimes life takes you in a direction that you had not intended to go on, right? And that should not be the end of the road. So I'll talk about how my career started. Even though I knew I didn't want to practice, that's the job I got. That's the job I ended up with right after I graduated. And I knew I had to do it excellently, right? And I had these abilities because similarly, when I finished my Form 5, I was a waiter at News Cafe. Thank you. So that taught me people skills, because when you're a waiter, you get different people. You've all been customers to a restaurant. Sometimes the waiter gets the order wrong. And at the time I was a waitress, I didn't drink alcohol, right? But people ordered alcohol from me, so I had to figure out what exactly they were ordering, right? And obviously, I had to learn how to smile past the being upset with my customer who's being difficult, because I want a tip, but also because the customer is always right. And also, I realized that at that young age, I didn't expect myself to know everything. I'd take the order down and then run to the more experienced waiter and be like, what is this that the customer is asking for? And they would guide me. So I learned at an early age that it's important to always ask for help, to always evaluate. When you evaluate your goals, have someone that you are accountable to look at your goals and tell you why it's not working or why it's working or how you can do it better. Have someone help you to re-strategize if the goal is always evading you, if you just find yourself always missing the mark. The key elements of goal setting, both for yourself and for any entity that you find yourself in. There must be a vision, mission, and values. How many of you have a vision for your life? It doesn't have to be written down. It doesn't have to be specific right now. But I want to encourage you, the same way your schools, your companies that you work for or the company that you have has a vision statement or a mission statement and values that it stands for, you must understand your own values in your own life, because these are going to guide you in the path that's going to be very fulfilling to you. These are going to guide the entities that you run and operate so that they become fulfilling and meaningful to yourself. You must have long-term and short-term goals. A lot of the time, people are demoralized when they set goals because in the space of 12 months, we set goals that are not really attainable within a 12-month period. And when we don't attain them, we beat ourselves up. Or we set goals that can be attained in 12 months and we want to do them within 3 months because we forgot about them beginning of the year. They want to quickly do them in 3 months. So with my goal-setting toolkit, one of the things we encourage or we teach you to do is to set out your long-term goals and to break them down into shorter goals. For example, if I want to achieve a certain qualification within the next 3 years, there's certain steps you need to start doing today for you to get to that point where you achieve that goal, right? And every week, every month, every quarter, every year, you must be able to assess whether you are making strides towards achieving that goal in the timeline you have set. When things don't go well, you have to go back to your goal and say, okay, I won't be able to finish in 3 years, but what do I need to do to be able to finish within the next year of the target that I'd set? What we do most of the time is, if the 3 years passes and you haven't done it, you're like, it's gone. Next. Then you say, I never do anything, I never achieve anything. 3 years because you've been beating yourself up about that goal you didn't achieve 6 years ago now, right? Action plans are what help you get to where you need to get to. Saying to yourself, what am I going to do next week? At my age, guys, if it's not in my calendar, I'm not going to make it, right? So I now put everything in my calendar, even steps to say, next week I'm speaking at PutYouthOn, or I need to now pursue creating the new goal-setting toolkit for the next year. It has to be documented. There has to be a date. There has to be a timeline. There has to be activities that I need to do. Do I always get it right? No. Does that mean I'm terrible? Absolutely not. Can I do better? Yes. Managing yourself is what then comes in. Having the discipline to acknowledge when you are when you are slacking, when you're procrastinating, and realizing that you need to hold yourself accountable or get someone to hold you accountable to do what you said you'd do, which is accountability and resetting, and we've already talked about celebrating yourself. Setting goals for teams or for organizations starts with yourself, right? If you've been able to set goals for yourself, it becomes a lot easier to set goals for others. If you're going to run an entity, you need to lead other people. And if you're able to lead yourself well, you can lead the next person. Collaborative goal setting will also help you, where you sit with people, and I want to applaud PutYouthOn for how they set out to do this event, right? They were all hands-on. And that is what collaborative goal setting is. There was a goal, which was this event, but it didn't just end there. There were different things that needed to be done to get us to where we are today, and everybody held their ground and did what they were supposed to do. I want to also talk about relationship building. It's very important to build relations with others to help you and to help them achieve their goals as well as achieve your own set goals. I'm going to quickly come to this slide, which is my goal-setting essentials. Understand that setting goals acts as a bridge between where you are now and where you want to be in the future. So I want you to imagine that that's where you want to go, and that's where you are this side. And all of this, which is the stage, which you're going to walk from one end to the other, is your goal setting and your ability to smash your goals. Therefore, every time you win, every time you achieve a goal towards that direction, you build this platform that will help you get to where you need to get to. So write down your goals and classify them. Personal goals, business goals, financial goals, and anything that is important to you. Read through your goals daily or weekly, whatever works for you, but you regularly have to remind yourself what your goal is to be able to continuously work towards it. Thirdly, to-do lists. In my to-do list, I have a to-do list that is, I do a to-do list every day. In my to-do list, there's things I have to do at work, there's things I have to do like shopping, there's things that I have to do at home, there's things that I have to do which are related to my goals or anything that I'm studying. At the end of each day, I look at my to-do list and see what I've done and what I haven't done. And then I don't say, oh no, I only did 2 things. I say, okay, here's a new to-do list for tomorrow. I move them to a new page. 4, establish weekly and monthly goals to support your long-term goals. Every time on Instagram, good about hello October, hello November, hello December. Again, that is your chance again to say, I'm going to reset my goals. I didn't achieve all of them last month, or I achieved all of them last month. Now I need to progress to the next month. Lastly, review your progress consistently and celebrate your wins. Thank you.
We are live here from the Youth Leaders Workshop. Why me? So if you want to be a leader, if you just want to network, if you just want to just grow yourself as a human being, this is the place to be. My name is Tsaone Sparkle Bedi, a part of the PutYouthOn team. And hello.
Hi, how are you?
Okay.
Good thing.
Who am I here with?
I'm Tsaone Bedi, commonly known as Sparkle Bedi, Corporate Bedi, the corporate lawyer, whatever you want to call it.
Get into it. So I just want to know, how did the SMART concept come about for you?
All right, so I've learned a lot about goal setting, and the SMART concept is a commonly used acronym for setting goals. It's essentially that, SMART, being specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and timely bound goals. So it's one of the tried and tested models of setting goals, so I chose to follow it. Yeah.
Amazing. So what do you think is the importance of youth being aligned with their goals?
It's very important to have goals. It's very important to align yourself to the goals that you set out for yourself. Because if you set goals that don't align with who you are, you're not going to be able to follow through with them. You're not going to be able to pursue them. If they don't excite you, if they're not driving you towards where you want to go, then there's no point in setting them. So it's very important that youth have goals that inspire and get them moving.
Yes. I love how you summed it up. It's actually very, very, very important, because these are the leaders for tomorrow. If we don't have leaders that have goals and, ambitions, so how did Corporate Millennial come about?
So when I started working in the corporate space, there wasn't a lot of guidance, local guidance. So I decided that, I had to wing it through corporate, but I don't want the next person to wing it. So I'm going to leave them nuggets of wisdom that I learned as I pursue my journey, so that when they start their corporate journey, they're able to do stuff that they're able to learn from my mistakes, or able to learn from the things that I achieved and do better than me. That's how it came about.
So you did it first so they don't have to. Exactly. Nice. So what do you think inspired you to become a lawyer?
The first time I met a lawyer, I was just a girl. I was yay high.
Just a girl.
And I saw the first lawyer and I was like, ooh, I like what that woman does and I want to do it. I had no idea what it meant. But as I grew up, my strengths directed me into law, and that's how I ended up here.
Nice. So what made you accept the invitation, to come and speak at our event?
First of all, the name is dope.
Yes! Get into it.
So that was the first thing. And I love things like this, where we get to educate one another, learn from each other. They just make me feel like I have purpose and I'm fulfilling and living in my purpose. So that's why I accepted your invitation.
I think also these are the type of events that you probably also would have used back then.
I needed them.
And participating in them also, it just makes you feel like, you're doing a change and all of that. I absolutely love that. So, we same apunyana hela ke batla advice hela e ya motswana ko lapeng yo e leng gore o itse gore keng o batla go change botshelo ba gago, be it in corporate, be it whatever sector that they may be in. So yeah,
I want you to know that you are wildly capable of doing anything that you set your mind out to. Set specific goals that you are desirous of achieving and run that race. When you fall, get back up and keep running. Okay? You got this.
Ha go wile Bedi nka garela ke rena. Thank you.